Today we're going to check out Air Canada's new bus service. That's right, we're not even going to pass through security or turn our phones to airplane mode. Introduced in 2024, these buses expand the service of Toronto Pearson for the airline. We'll see what communities they serve and evaluate the pros and cons of their bimodal service. So let's climb aboard Flight 2494 and let's make our way to Toronto. Good morning and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to fly a ride with Air Canada on one of their buses. Air Canada buses started last year in 2024 and currently they connect a couple communities in southern Ontario with direct access to Toronto Pearson. Now with the regional Go Bus Go train or flying directly with a competitor airline, is there any value with the airline bus? I came to Hamilton, Ontario to find out. The bus is set to depart at 11:35, so come along as we go from A to B and let's uncover the world of the airline bus. Hamilton International Airport is a secondary airport servicing the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area in southern Ontario. Located about 80 kilometers west of Toronto Pearson, it's one of those airports where airlines come and go, and you might be able to catch a charter flight down to the Caribbean in the winter. In its best years, it would serve 1 million passengers, but that number has dropped off to about 325,000 in recent years. It was the initial hub for WestJet many moons ago when they entered the Toronto market, but today cargo planes are a common sight on your way into the airport. Porter Airlines is taking a stab at the airport by recently increasing their operations here with flights within Canada and to the States. The check-in area is quite small, but it appears the terminal was renovated since the last time I was here with check-in desks for the 3 national airlines. For Air Canada, the bus service is the only regularly scheduled service out of the airport. Check-in is the same as any other airport which Air Canada serves. If you have checked bags, they are tagged out of YHM. They'll be loaded on the bus for you, but you'll have to carry them from the bus and then toss it on the baggage drop-off in Toronto yourself. The gate, if you want to call it that, is just the seating area outside the security check. And besides the vending machines humming off on the side and the Tim Hortons, there's really not much going on. So I haven't been to Hamilton Airport for I think 20 years. They definitely renovated it. Back then it was just like a concrete warehouse type of deal. And Hamilton Airport's kind of that airport that airlines come and go. Air Canada used to have flights. I think they flew to Montreal and Ottawa back then. For WestJet, this was their hub when they moved into Ontario with their low-cost model, and since then they obviously went to Toronto Terminal 3. In the wintertime, you'll find assigned destination charter airlines that maybe come and go. So depending on the time of year, there could be less airlines, more airlines here, and there's obviously the cargo component. You can see them outside as well. So waiting inside wasn't terribly exciting, as you can imagine. You can't even really plane spot. So I took the opportunity to take pictures of the coach when it showed up outside the departure doors. The bus is operated by Landline, and this is the same company which American Airlines contracts with for a similar operation south of the border. At 11:05, we are ushered back through the entrance to board the bus, and as we make our way, I'll take this moment to welcome new viewers to the channel, and I invite you to subscribe for continued aviation and travel related content, where you can catch a ride aboard the Red Arrow bus out in Alberta, where free drinks and snacks are provided on this highway coach.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. Yep. Today we'll be seated in 11F, which is the second last single seat at the rear of the bus. Boarding, as you can imagine, doesn't take too long, and then we're on our way. The bus interior is laid out in a 2-1 seating configuration with 36 seats over 12 rows, with a dark interior with black upholstered seats with a wood-type flooring. Above the seats, there's space to store your bags. Window seats in rows 9 and 10 should be avoided for those wanting the outside view, since the black deck null is opaque. The bus is equipped with several monitors, but really didn't provide any use, and it really just showed this display for the entire trip. The seats are fairly comfortable, providing good cushion, and I found them better than some budget carriers, but they do lack any type of headrest. The seats offer some recline, and you can see the comparison between these two seats. When reclined, the bottom cushion is going to slide out a few inches. Seat back is simple, with a table and a little pocket underneath, which has a pamphlet with the information on connecting to the free Wi-Fi. Between the window and the seat in the front, you'll find a couple power outlets and USB ports. With only 12 rows, there's a generous amount of space, considering most people are traveling with a couple articles with them, and it's even more so for the single seats. Beside the seat, there's a little console with a couple drink holders and a place for some smaller articles. The double seats have a similar setup, and you can see the handrest can either be raised or lowered completely. Above, you have access to the reading light. There's a bell button, but it's not used since there's no stops between the airports, and I'm not sure what the red button is for. Perhaps it mutes the speaker. And of course, there's the air controls. The seats in row 1 don't provide a table, but this fixed ledge instead. So if you plan on doing any work with a computer, for example, having the full table might be more beneficial. Overall, I found the bus interior not too far off from the business class found on Via Rail. There's sufficient space for your bags, and the bus offers a comfortable ride to the airport. And the seats and space make it a step up compared to the Go bus. At the rear of the bus is one washroom. They took a page out of the Q400 playbook and provide hand sanitizer instead of running water. Besides the free Wi-Fi, there is nothing else provided for these trips. Given that these buses connect smaller airports, I would recommend to grab something at the grocery store before heading to the airport for the bus. If going the other way, there are some convenience stores in Terminal 1 to pick something up. Air Canada introduced the bus service in 2024. At the time of editing, Air Canada offers the bus service from 3 cities in Ontario, providing connections to Toronto. From Hamilton, there's 4 trips per day with a scheduled travel time of 1 hour. From Kitchener-Waterloo, there's also 4 trips per day with a travel time of 65 minutes. And Kingston was the newest city to have the bus service starting in September 2025, with 2 trips per day and a travel time of 2 hours 50 minutes, with the first bus leaving at 4 a.m. to reach Toronto for those early morning departures. And just over an hour later, we made it to Toronto for our connecting flight. The bus provides an easy way to reach Toronto from communities outside the city that are a bit too close for a flight. By checking in at the smaller airports, it's a quick start to the trip, even if you have to roll your bag in Toronto to and from the bus. It really doesn't take too much time to drop it off at those machines anyway. The biggest advantage of the bus, however, is it adds peace of mind for not having to worry about getting to Toronto on time. If you know Toronto, you also know what the traffic's like on a good day. Once you check in Hamilton, Waterloo, or Kingston, you're in Air Canada's system. So even if the bus is delayed due to traffic or anything else, and you miss your connection, the airline will rebook you automatically. That being said, Air Canada is not the most punctual airline in the world, is it? So on outbound bus trips from Toronto, I would recommend to have a decent connection time to add a buffer just in case the inbound flight is delayed. When it comes to pricing, I found there was not much difference. Here's a side-by-side of possible flights from Hamilton to Montreal or Toronto to Montreal. And as you can see, the price is in the same ballpark. For my trip, I paid $233. We arrive on time at the airport, and it's time to head into the terminal, and the bus has served its purpose. So I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Air Canada's bus service, and I'll catch you in the next video.